Last week, Trump imposed tariffs on an additional $300 billion worth of goods, which raises the question once again, where is the US and China at in this whole trade war thing, and how does this affect you as an Amazon seller? This week, we're going to revisit some of the key events that have happened relating to the US-China trade war, and finally, what you can do as a seller to make sure that you come up on top. I'm Darren, and this is Zon Trends brought to you by ZonGuru. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe to always stay in the loop with Amazon industry tips, news, and strategy. Here's what you need to understand so far. Back in May, Trump increased a 10% tariff on $250 billion worth of goods to 25%, and then threatened to impose a 10% tax on an additional $300 billion worth of goods, effectively taxing all imported goods from China. Tariffs are just taxes paid by importers, in this case, US importers. So depending on what you sell, you may feel a 10% or 25% or higher or lower tax depending on the products that you sell and the materials that are within that product. These recent tariffs are the result of Trump being under the impression that China was trying to renegotiate a deal that they had already come to a conclusion on months prior. His response has been to just impose more taxes on additional goods. The Chinese economy is clearly feeling the pain, and they actually followed through on something that a lot of economists were a little worried about, which was reducing the value of their currency below a certain threshold in an effect to kind of offset the financial burden of these additional tariffs. Before the tariffs even took effect, the Chinese government had actually lost 200 million manufacturing jobs. So they're continuing to feel the pain. And a lot of economists are actually speculating that the Chinese government will continue to hunker down while they wait for a hopeful Democratic candidate to win in the 2020 election. But who knows how that's all going to play out. So why should you care about this? It's important to, again, remember that these may be taxes that you have to pay. The next thing is, what should you do about this? Well, what you should do is do what any smart entrepreneur does in a situation where they might be taking a hit somewhere that's completely outside of their control. But while it's outside of your control, it's also outside of your competition's control. What can you do to make sure that you outperform your competition? And this goes back to a lot of the things that we talk about all the time. Create a better brand experience, have a better product, tweak. This is the perfect opportunity to sit down and take a serious look at your products and your product lines and really think about how you can improve. Feeling lost? We just shot a brand new segment called What's in the Box, which takes a look at a really, really good product. And I would just go ahead and watch that video and take some notes, because those are the things that you're gonna wanna pay attention to. Brand experience, packaging, product photography, your listing optimization. Your listing copy and the way that you optimize for the best, most relevant keywords directly results into your product appearing for as many searches as possible. So how can you optimize your listing? Well, thankfully, ZonGuru just released a brand new tool called Keywords on Fire, which you can find in a link somewhere around this video, I'm sure. And it's going to actually just show you what keywords you should be using in your listing and where to insert them. So it's going to be a really, really good resource towards making sure that your listing is optimized. And then one other thing that you can do aside from optimizing basically your entire brand listing and brand experience is really take and keep a close eye on the price of your product in relation to your main competition. You want to not have a gut reaction here and just throw the cost onto the consumer right away. You want to understand what your competitors are doing and adjust in an appropriate way. If you've already done all the legwork to create this really great experience around your product, then you actually can just outprice your competition anyways and increase your price because you're already selling what many may consider a luxury brand. Quick recap, the US-China trade negotiations are not going anywhere fast. This is probably going to be a topic of discussion throughout the rest of 2019. What should you do about this? Well, the first thing is don't panic. Focus on the long term and how you can kind of weather the storm in effect and outperform your competition in the long run, because as sellers drop off in your category, they're only making room for you to appear higher and higher for the relevant keywords. And guys, we have a brand new document all devoted to product differentiation and how to basically find the best products to sell on Amazon with all of this strategy and kind of philosophy that we've been talking about for a long time on this channel. So you're gonna wanna check that out in the description for sure. Thank you for watching, guys. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to us in the comments. We'll respond there, and stay tuned. We'll be coming at you next week with a brand new unboxing video and some more industry news, tips, and tricks. All right, bye for now.